Hello, St. Thomas Academy, and welcome to the Cadet Football Show. My name is Mike Maxwell. I'm your host, and to my left is head football coach Dan O'Brien, and we're here to talk a little STA football. Welcome to the show.
Thanks, Mike.
Yeah, glad to have you back. Hey, great win last Friday night. Congratulations. You got a 45-0 victory, and in the process, another section championship. So congratulations. Give us your assessment of the game.
Well, I thought we were better than the week before, and that's what you want to try to do this time of year, Mike, is just keep improving and keep getting better. We set a couple of goals before the game I did with the kids, and actually all week long. One of the things that has hampered us this year is turnovers. We've turned the ball over every game multiple times in some games, and our goal is always no turnovers, and we were able to accomplish that this week offensively, so I was real pleased with that. Defensively, the goal was to not give up big plays on the back end, and we were able to accomplish that as well. And special teams had some plays. We kicked a 36-yard field goal, which was great to have a chance to try that and work on that before playoffs. So, all in all, it was a good day.
Yeah, I would agree, and I would say from a fan's perspective, it was a pretty mistake-free game. But coach's perspective, of course, is a little different.
There's always mistakes in it,
right? And so I'm sure you watched the films and uncovered a few things. What are the things that you guys are working on this week as you get ready for the next game?
Well, we're focused on Mott right now, and what we know about Mahtomedi is that we know the games that I've been hearing from before when I got here, Mike. We have fantastic games with Mahtomedi, so we're expecting the same. It's going to be another one of those games I think goes right down to the end. So our big focus this week on defense is making sure that we can cover our gaps and be sound because their running back is so good. And offensively, we need to add a wrinkle or two that they haven't seen that they may not be prepared for. It's a very well coached football team, and they've got they do a fantastic job there. So the things that we had success with last time, we may not be able to have success with them this time. So we'll have to put in a wrinkle or two there and make sure we're focused on defense, and special teams will have to play well as well.
Yeah. And I'll just add, a close game is fine, but no 4 overtime.
I know.
Deal, right?
Or last play of the game.
Right. Yeah.
After
nothing like
three
that.
offsides on a field goal.
Let's have it in hand before for a couple minutes left. So, why don't you give us an injury update? Anthony Bickford was out last week. How's he doing? And are there any other injuries that to speak of?
Well, the good news is on him is we think we'll have him back this week. He practiced yesterday, and we did a non-contact practice with Bick, and we'll slowly add some contact in throughout the rest of the practice week, and hopefully he'll be ready to go. We certainly need his big body, against a team that's going to run it probably 75% of the time. So it'll be important, and hopefully we'll have him back. Brendan Gerber practiced this week for the first time since our original Mahtomedi game, which was Game 6. Oh, wow. He's had the shoulder injury, so he practiced yesterday, and he was able to get through the practice, so we're hopeful to have him back. Unfortunately, Caesar, our nose guard, Chino Burton, we think that we probably won't get him back. He's got a back issue that's bothering him, and it keeps flaring up, and he hasn't been able to get some relief from some of the pain he's having, so we'll hold him out of that one. But other than that, anybody that we thought we might have, we should be healthy enough and ready to go.
Yeah, I saw Chino walking around school the other day. He's in a little bit of pain, so I feel bad for him, especially this time of year. So, you had a few guys out last week, at least kind of sporadically with some illness that was running through the school. Any residual effect of that, or you got everybody back at full strength?
Yeah, not a ton, fortunately. This week has been clean, and I think our whole school, our attendance has been better this week. So hopefully that means, Mike, that we're over the hump on that deal. It was nerve-wracking last week. I was afraid to open the email from the attendance people and not knowing what I was going to see on there, because it's important to have people at practice, and and it's a contact game, and if you miss practice, there's potential that you can put another kid in danger of an injury because you maybe didn't get the things that were put in on that particular day that you missed. So it's hard, but I think this week we're in much better shape than we were last week, and hopefully it's gone through St. Thomas, and maybe it's moved on some other schools.
There you go. There you go.
North and west of us here.
All right, we're going to move on after that.
Before we get in trouble.
Right, exactly. Let's talk about the players of the game.
Players of the game, offensive player of the game. We split it this week. Our two running backs, Love and Savion. Both had fantastic games, Mike. They were both at 100 yards or more again.
Yeah.
Savion is at about 1,200 yards for the year, and Love is about 1,000 yards for the year, and Love has another 150 yards of pass reception. So to have two running backs both over 1,000 yards for 2 years in a row is phenomenal. So those two share the Offensive Player of the Week.
Yeah, and both fresh going into the playoffs.
Yeah, they're pretty healthy.
It's a really good spot to be. How about on defense?
Our defensive player of the game this week was Gavin Engelbert. Gavin he had a fantastic week again, and he keeps playing better and better. He'll get it this week, and he's playing both ways for us. He's playing offense and defense, and again, we talked about him last week, getting a bunch of snaps. He did again this week, and keeps improving. So he was our defensive player of the game.
Good for him. How about on special teams?
I am happy to report we named the entire kickoff team our special team player of the game. It was our best kickoff coverage probably in my 5 years here. It seemed for whatever reason we struggled with that one. But we kicked the ball well. We had two kickers that kicked, Declan Wilson, along with Metzger. I call him Tex.
Yep.
He doesn't need a first name. He's Tex to me.
Yep.
Roman Metzger. Those two guys kicked off great, and micro coverage was fantastic.
Yeah. We were talking about that on the broadcast, and I was suggesting that you guys had struggled, and that last Friday you guys were on target, so that's good to see. Great timing for this time of year. So, and then how about our favorite award, the grinder?
The grinder goes to James Brennan this week. James his senior year has been fantastic for him. Each game he seems to get a little bit better. He's incredibly active up front and gives us a speed element up there, along with Jeffrey Craig, that has been a challenge for offensive lines to handle. So. He had another fantastic game, and he is our grinder of the week.
All right, awesome. So the win brings you to a perfect 10-0. You got another section championship and a trip to the state tournament. Tell our audience what do you think that kind of success means to not only your football program but to the school as a whole?
Well, I hope it's important to the school. To be successful academically is fantastic, and of course that's the number one deal, is to be successful academically. But one of the reasons why I chose to come here and to coach here is because it's also important to be excellent at co-curricular activities, the things that go along with the academic piece. So that's important. I hope it's important to the alums. They certainly reach out to me in good and in bad times. I hear from the alums as well, and I think it helps. Bring some publicity to the school, hopefully in a positive manner, whether it's the Star Tribune, whether it's Care 11 has done stuff on us, or whether it's the St. Paul Pioneer Press. Those are free advertising dollars that hopefully catch people's eye, and hopefully they'll look at it and see, say, St. Thomas, hey, you know what, they're really good academically, you know what, they're pretty good in it's co-curricular and in the athletic programs as well. So hopefully those are positive and thumbs up for the academy.
Yeah, absolutely. And by the way, there's no shortage of opinions from the alumni base. So just I know you're used to that.
Trust me, I know. It kind of goes with the job.
Anyway, well, let's talk about this week's game. You already mentioned it's Mahtomedi, another familiar opponent. They bring a 9-1 record into the game after a 20-0 victory over St. Paul Central in their section championship game. And of course, their lone loss of the season came to our Cadets, a 28-14 win in week 6. Definitely your most challenging game of the season, so far. Do you take a little bit different approach as you prepare for a team like Mahtomedi the second time around?
Well, I wouldn't say it's a different approach. The kids know that they know what's at stake. They know if we want to keep playing, they know if we want to play inside U.S. Bank Stadium, that this is a really, really important week. And they know Mott's a rivalry game for them, so there shouldn't be any issue about having kids locked in and focused and ready to go. And we're going to approach each week kind of the same, but there is that little piece there that says, hey, you know what? Right now you're one of 8 teams left in 5A football that are still practicing. We got to practice under the lights, with the daylight savings time. That's always a great milestone. If you get to do that usually means good things. So they know what's at stake, and we'll just go out and try to get better every single day.
right.
With our practice plan. And so it really isn't anything different. We just know it's Mahtomedi week.
So, being that it's a state playoff game, is there additional pressure, or is it just another week at the office?
Well, I would tell you this, Mike. There certainly is additional pressure, I think, on the coaching staff, and that's self-imposed pressure for sure. For me, I'm watching a little bit more film this week, and so are all of our coaches, and so we certainly feel more pressure. We try to keep it away from the kids as much as we can, but there's a heightened awareness, and they know it's at stake. It's a one and done kind of deal now. So hopefully the pressure becomes more on the coaches and less on the kids, and the kids are just more in an excited and accelerated state.
Yeah, absolutely. So the game's played at a neutral site. It's at Woodbury High School. Does that change your preparation at all? I mean, the direction of the wind, the sun coming in, anything like that kind of get you thinking differently?
Well, certainly an afternoon game can, because you don't know what's going to happen with the sun,
Sure.
and the forecast is not pleasant. It's supposed to be high 20s for temperature, and we're not getting an afternoon sun if we're playing at noon.
Right.
So, really you try not to make too much of it. It's more importantly, are we playing on turf or are we playing on grass? And the state quarterfinals are all on turf.
Right.
So we'll be fine there. But again, we try to get on and tell the kids it's a 100-yard field, whether we're playing at home or whether we're playing away, and we're going to go out and hopefully play that way on Saturday at noon.
Yeah. Good. All right, Coach. Well, thanks for taking time out to talk a little cadet football with me. Appreciate your time as always, and good luck on Saturday.
Thank you.
Yep, you got it. So your cadet football team will play the Mahtomedi Zephyrs on Saturday afternoon. Kickoff is set for noon. The game will be played at Woodbury High School. Tickets can be purchased online. We'll add the link below. If you're unable to make it but want to watch it live, there will be online coverage by Neighborhood Sports Network. We will include the link below, and as a reminder, because these are the state playoffs, it will be a pay-per-view type of event. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next week. Go Cadets!